What's up, traders? So today I'm going to show you how you can safely make an extra $2,000 per month by selling puts on TQQQ. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rashad. I am a full-time options trader, and I bring in multiple six figures a year from the stock market. And I have a wife and 6 children, and I use the money that I make from the stock market in order to pay for our entire lifestyle. Now, one of the things that I noticed since my YouTube channel has gotten a little bigger, that for some reason in the comment section, it normally attracts some people that are, I don't know, let's say argumentative. You know, people that just want to disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. Like they have no merit behind what they're saying and they just want some attention. And that's totally fine. But me, as a God-fearing man, I'd rather just kill them with kindness and with results. And so here, I have my Charles Schwab account pulled up, and I'm here at the Performance tab, and I currently have the time frame of year-to-date pulled up. So as of right now, it is currently February 12th. So it has from January 1st to February 11th pulled up, and we can see that I have done almost 10% on my account year to date, which has been what, 5 or 6 weeks thus far in the year, while the market has done 3.29% for the year. So I've nearly 3x the return of the market just year to date. But here, if we go and look at the last 3 months, all right, so we can see here I've done almost 20% over the last 3 months, and the market has done 1.45%. And so in that time frame, I've almost 15x the market. But we can go even a little further. Let's see, that was 3 months. Let's do 5 months. Why not? So September 12th there. All right. Okay. So in the last 5 months, I've done 37% on my entire account, while the market has done 9.83%. And so even in that time frame, I've almost 4x'd the market. Now, with my style of trading, I appeal to people that want a consistent and reliable income. And so this is people that are looking to supplement their 9-to-5 or their business income, or to possibly totally replace their 9-to-5 income. But of course, in order to do that, you need your income to be consistent and reliable. And for the most part, every single week, I know about how much I'm going to make. And typically I do about $7,000 to $10,000 per week out of my main trading account. But I know that that's what I'm going to make this week. I know that's what I'll probably make next week. I know that's what I'll probably make the week after that and the week after that. The way I trade, I'm not getting lucky off of buying NVIDIA calls or Palantir calls and it's skyrocketing. I focus on consistent and reliable income, trades that we can do over and over and over again and just make money. And I have monthly income generating strategies, bi-weekly and weekly income trading strategies for those who are busy, those who have a 9-to-5, and those who don't want to focus on the market all day. And then I have a day trading 0 DTE strategy. Now, the day trading strategy will be launching within the community on February 24th, in which this is a strategy that I perfected over the last year. However, anybody who joins now gets a huge discount. So if you know anybody who would like to generate more income from the stock market, please share with them the Trader Freedom community. The link is in the description below. And make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. And do remember that I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. All trading comes with risks. I'm just showing you how I've built wealth over time. But with that being said, let's get down to business. All right, so here we have TQQQ pulled up. Now, TQQQ is simply an ETF that follows the NASDAQ 100. However, unlike regular ETFs like QQQ, this is a 3x leveraged ETF. Now, a leveraged ETF is typically just an ETF that looks to move 2 or 3 times the daily move of the sector or the stock that it follows. And so since TQQQ is a 3x leveraged ETF, it looks to move 3 times more than what the NASDAQ 100 moves. So an example is if the NASDAQ 100 is up 1% for the day, then TQQQ looks to move up 3% for the day. And the same works in reverse. If the NASDAQ were to be down 1% for the day, then TQQQ will look to be down 3% for the day. Now, your next question is probably, well, why would I trade this as opposed to a regular ETF such as QQQ? Well, there's a few reasons. Us as option sellers, we receive more premium the more volatile a stock is. So the more that a stock is expected to move, the more premium we will receive for selling puts and calls on that stock. Okay, so number one reason is more money. And the second reason is most of the time, a leveraged ETF has a lower stock price than the stock or the sector that it follows. So in this case, we can see that TQQQ is currently $85. And if we look over at QQQ, and we can see that that ETF stock price is currently $528. So you don't need as much in your account with trading TQQQ as you would with QQQ. Now, when you're trading the NASDAQ 100, you're essentially trading a huge part of their US economy. All right, so you can see the who's who's of stocks here. We have Apple, which holds 8.68% of the holding. Then we have NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, Costco, Google, Netflix, T-Mobile, Cisco, Palantir, etc., etc. So by trading the NASDAQ 100, we're trading 100 different companies that are all very well known and established. And since TQQQ is a stock that I would like to own at cheaper prices, I want to go ahead and sell puts on it to generate some monthly income. Now, if you're new to options, when you're selling puts, you're looking to do one of two things. You either want to sell puts, or you want to acquire a stock at a cheaper price, or you want to do both. And in my case, I'm definitely doing it to generate the income, but also I am fine with buying shares of TQQ at a lower price. And selling puts is very much just like selling insurance for stocks. Now, you as a car owner probably have car insurance. And the reason you have car insurance is because you're fearful if you were to go out and drive that you would get into a car accident. And if that were to happen, you want your car insurance company to pay for all the expenses. Well, the exact same thing is true for selling puts. But in this case, as the put seller, you are the insurance company. So if we have, in this case, TQQQ stock, and it's currently trading around $80, what we could do is sell a put, let's say at $70. And for selling this put at $70, we are agreeing to buy 100 shares of the company if the stock price were to drop below our $70 strike by expiration date. Now, for doing so, we'll get paid, let's say, $200. So I'll receive $200 for taking on this risk, just like you pay a premium to your car insurance company. And no matter what happens to TQQ's price, I keep the $200 no matter what. But if TQQQ stays above our strike price, which we set at $70, then we just keep that money and go about our day, and we can continue to do the trade over and over and over again if we wish. However, if TQQQ stock price drops below our $70 strike by the end of expiration date, then we do need to purchase 100 shares of the company per contract that we have. But in this case, we still keep the $200 premium that we received, just like your car insurance company keeps the money that you pay them every month, whether you get into a car accident or you don't. Now, before we go and actually make a trade, there are a few data points that I like to look at in order to help me select the best strike price. And the first one is the Bollinger Bands. So here we have TQQQ stock price pulled up, and these black lines here are the Bollinger Bands. Now, the Bollinger Bands just aim to show you the range that a stock price is expected to trade within. And usually it's about 95% accurate. So you can see most of the time the stock price is trading within inside the Bollinger Band area. But what I want to pay attention to specifically is this lower Bollinger Band line. And we can see that it's currently at $80.44. So this is telling us as of right now that TQQQ stock price is expected to stay above $80.44, as it is currently right now trading for $84.80. But now that we have that data point, let's head over to Thinkorswim and look at our next data point. All right, so here we are on the Thinkorswim platform, and the next thing I need to do is select the expiration date. So for me personally, I go anywhere up to 45 days out. All right, so if we look at the expiration dates here, we have an expiration of about 44 days out, but I think I want to go with this one that is currently 37 days out since we're looking for monthly income. So I'll go ahead and click on that and I'll scroll down. But the next thing we want to look at is the delta. So the delta is this column here, but that shows us how much an options premium will move per a $1 move in the underlying stock's price. But what most successful traders look at it as is the probability of the event occurring. So for an example, if we were to go to this strike here of $66, which is at a delta of 0.10, this is telling me that there's about a 10% probability that TQQ's stock price, which is currently at $84, drops down to $66 by this expiration date. All right, so if we were to sell a put here, we would have about a 90% probability of profit. Now, for me personally, I go up to a delta of about 0.20. However, I have a much larger account. But when I was growing my account, I would do deltas of 0.30. So if we were to go up to a delta of 0.30, it looks like this delta of 0.29 would get us the closest to it. And that is a strike of $78, which is below what the Bollinger Band said of $80. And so depending on how conservative you want to be or not, I would go anywhere between this 0.20 delta and this 0.30 delta. So that puts us at strikes of $73 anywhere to $78. So let's just go right in the middle. Let's select a strike of $75. And so we can see at this strike of $75, it is paying anywhere between $2.39 to $2.41. Now, if you're new to options, what you're seeing is the per share price, because with options, everything is times by 100. So if we were to sell puts here, we would receive about $240 up front per contract. And remember, we're receiving this money up front for taking on the risk of TQQQ dropping below the strike price by the expiration date. Now, if we sell these puts right here, right now, again, TQQQ stock price is currently $84. We're selling a put at $75. And we're receiving roughly $240 for doing so. And as long as TQQQ stock price stays above the $75 by expiration date, then we keep our money and we go about our lives, and we can do this exact trade over and over and over again. However, if TQQQ stock price were to drop below the $75 mark, then we will need to buy 100 shares of the company per contract, no matter what price TQQ is below it. All right. So say TQQQ stock price drops to 73, we still agree to buy 100 shares of the company at $75 per contract. All right, so when you're selling puts, you are getting paid to take on risk. But that sounds good to me, so let's go ahead and sell the put. So I'll right click, go to sell, and then go to single, because this is a single leg trade. And we can see that TQQQ stock price must be going up as I'm talking, because the premiums are becoming a little less. But that's no worries. We can still select the premium that we want to receive for the trade and wait for it to get executed. So I'll go back up here to $2.40 that we had it at. And then the next thing we need to do is select the amount of contracts that we need. Now, if we wanted to collect $2,000 per se for this video, then we would need about 8 contracts at this amount of premium. So what you could do is just come over here and select 8 contracts. However, I never recommend entering into your total position all at once. All right, so if I know in my head that I want to do about 8 contracts on TQQQ, I'm going to stagger it out over several days. So maybe I sell 1 contract per day or once every 2 days, but this will help me kind of dollar cost average into the position. And then also, as TQQQ stock price moves over those days, I can select different strikes. All right, but for the purposes of this video, we'll just go ahead and select 8 contracts for now. That will symbolize the entire position. So I've selected the 8 contracts. I'll come over here, hit confirm and send. And we can see that for putting on this trade, we will immediately receive $1,920. Now, for me personally, once I've locked in about 50 to 80% of my profit, I will go ahead and close the trade and re-enter a new one. Because once we've locked in most of our profit, it's best to just move on to the next trade, because this is what helps us get a higher rate of return. All right, and now if we look at the max loss, you can see it says $58,080, but don't let that scare you. That is saying that if TQQQ stock price were to go to 0 while you were in this trade with all 8 contracts, then that's the amount that you would lose. But however, as we said before, TQQQ is the NASDAQ 100. So you have 100 different companies all within this stock. And so the chances of it going to 0 are very, very slim. But that is how I would bring in an extra few $1,000s per month trading TQQQ. If you happen to know anybody that you think could benefit from learning from me, tell them about the Trade to Freedom community. Not only will they get my exact trades when I enter them, but they'll also get my entire options framework and course. And then lastly, they'll be within a community of traders that all have the exact same goals as them. The link is in the description below. I would absolutely love to have them there. But that is it for this video. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.